Hello guys, my name is Nivesh Yadav and today I will show you how to install Mac OS X Yosemite and Windows 8.1 Pro on your Toshiba laptop, and I will guide you through all the processes properly so you don't have to worry about anything, and I will provide all the links in the description, so do check the description and please like and subscribe. Welcome back guys. Now all the softwares and all the essential things which you require to install Mac and Windows on your laptop are shown in front of your screen. First you require two 8GB pen drive, one with Mac and another with Windows. Now B, you require a 2GB pen drive on which we will install all the essential softwares. C, you require Multibeast Yosemite edition for installing drivers on Mac. D, you require Microsoft Toolkit for activating Windows. E, Horndis for internet that will enable USB tethering option for Mac. F, you require Paragon NTFS, it's optional. And G, Paragon HFS Plus, that is also optional, as they both enable cut, copy, paste and editing on both Windows and Mac drives. Now H, you require transmac, which will be used to put on the yosemite.dmg file on the USB stick. I, we require Toshiba wireless driver and graphic drivers for Windows, and J, we require yosemite.dmg file. Now guys, we will use transmac to put on the Mac yosemite.dmg file on the pen drive. I have the pen drive connected there, and now first we will right click on it and format the disk for Mac. Now I'll click and yes, and it will open in administrator. Format disk for Mac, yes, and we will name it anything you want, and it will be formatting the USB drive. Now guys, I just transitioned the formatting process. It took quite a while, and now the format is complete, and now I am pressing OK. Now next thing you will do is right click on the same pen drive and restore with disk image, that is the yosemite.dmg disk image. Now I will press yes, and now I will select the file destination. For my it is right here, and now open and OK. Now the process is going on, so I will just transition it until it's complete. Now after the transition guys, I am back and the image has been restored onto the USB pen drive. Now I'll click OK and close it, and now I will shut power of the system, shut down. And so as to do it fast, I will just turn off by pressing here. And yes guys, if your system doesn't boots into the boot menu, then it is most probably that the fast boot is enabled on your system. So to get past the fast boot, you have to first boot in your laptop into Windows, and then by pressing the power key you have to shut it down directly and then press F2. I am pretty sure that you will be able to get into the boot menu. Yes guys, first you need to set up your BIOS settings for the Mac installation and Windows properly on your Toshiba laptop. First you need to go into advanced and then system configuration, and from here you need to SATA control mode should be AHCI, not compatible, and this boot mode should be CSM, not UEFI. Now after doing this, you just head back and go to boot and select the priority boot disk as USB, not hard disk. That you can do by seeing these options here which are available, and then you can exit and saving changes. That's all for your BIOS. Now the priority has been set to the USB, and now I am powering on the USB pen drive in which Yosemite has been installed. And yes, you have to also install and put up all the files onto your other pen drive for Windows. As I am not having other pen drives, so I will be using the same pen drive and will be doing the installation of Windows through a different PC I am having. So you will get this type of boot menu. Now from here you will select Yosemite zone. This is the image disk that is installed on the pen drive. Now I'll press enter, and you don't need to enter any boot flags. And here we go, we enter into the Hackintosh zone setup installation process. Now guys, after getting back into the install, I have transitioned the loading up process for you, and we are just about to begin the process. Now this is the installation software menu, and now we will select the language as English for our installation and click on next. And then guys, we will click on continue, agree. And now guys, we have the most important step for our installation of the Windows and Mac that will enable us dual boot both the partitions. We'll go to utility and disk utility, and now here first we will click on this 500 GB Toshiba drive. We'll select this drive and then go click on partition. Now this is currently showing the partitions which are already there, so we have to make two partitions. So we'll click on this, and yes guys, first partition will be, I'll giving it a memory of about 110 GBs, and I will naming it as Macintosh, and I'll be selecting the format as Mac OSS Extended Journal. Make sure that this is only selected, and the second partition will be named as Windows, and this will be formatted in MS-DOS FAT. This is most important process, and then we will select that option which will enable us to dual boot both the windows, that is options, and we will select as GUID partition table, not MBR, master boot record. This is the partition which will be by default selected on your system, but you have to select GUID partition and click on OK. Then I will click on apply, and we'll click on partition, and it is going to partition our drives as required. Yes, it has partitioned the drives. Now we will close this, and now here our drive is visible, Macintosh. I'll click on this and then customize, and then the most important step is that bootloader. We do not want to install any bootloader, and this you can see after clicking on do not install any bootloader and making it check, we can see that the Chameleon bootloader is still yet switched on, so we will click on it to switch it off. And then laptop drivers, we will click on enable battery percentage, and yes, we are almost there. And now we will click on accept, and now click on the Macintosh drive and continue. Now it will take about 25 to 30 minutes to install, so I will transition the process for you. Now guys, we will click on the Macintosh partition, and then it will boot up our Macintosh Windows Yosemite that we have just installed. Now as you can see, we are booting into Yosemite installation, and yes, we will select our country, that is India, and then click continue. Then we will select as US by default, keyboard, and my computer does not connect to the internet. Click next and continue. Then you don't want to import anything, click continue, agree, and now yes, we will enter our name, yes, then password, and then continue. It will create an account, Then we can click continue. It will set up our Mac, that is our Toshiba, on which we have installed the Yosemite. Now here we are. We have booted into Yosemite. All the things will automatically pop up. Yes, here we are. But we have to wait until a message pops up saying that the installation has successfully completed. So we will not turn off the computer unless that is complete. You will see a pop-up saying rebuilding caches after update and all the stuff which it requires to set up the Mac properly on your PC. Now guys, as you can see, the warning is pop-up showing that we should not turn off the Windows, the install Hackintosh, until it is complete. It will update it and I will transition this when it is complete. Now guys, as you can see, it is popping up Mac App Store fix. We will click on fix and then it will require our password. Yes, and we have entered the password. Now it's telling us to remove all the network interface and wait a few minutes, then restart. Now, as you can see, this is the image that pops up. We'll close that and now we will click on network, and as you can see, there are already no network preferences we have selected, so we'll just close it and then close it. Now it is the message is popping up, the installation was successful. Now we can optimize our Hackintosh as we require. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to insert our 2 GB pendrive into the Mac, and then we will run Multibeast. That's inside. Multibeast, yes, there it is, Multibeast, and it will unzip it, and here is the Multibeast folder. Multibeast. Now we will install the basic drivers which we need now. We will not install the bootloader yet, that is network, we don't need anything. MISC mix, we need USB, universal USB 3.0. Graphic, you don't need anything. Audio, yes, if your audio is not working, you can click on universal and then select the version Voodoo HDA version 2.7.3. This will work if your audio is not working. Yes, then I'll click build and then install. Agree. And again password. Then it will install our driver. And yes guys, our driver has successfully installed. So we'll go ahead and close it and close all the folders which have popped up. And now the Yosemite USB has been plugged in. So we will just eject the drive, eject our pen drive, and then from here we will shut down the Mac. Now guys, I have put on the Windows USB drive and now I will boot it. And it will boot into the Windows installer. Yes, here we go. It has booted in the Windows installer. And yes, now here we are. We will select the language, the country by default and click next. Then install now. And this will start the setup, and we will configure everything that we need to in the menu. We'll select the advanced option. Yes, I accept the terms. Yes, then custom installation we will select. And now here we see there is a Windows partition which we created in the Mac. We'll click on it and just format it and click on OK. And then we'll click on next, and it will go ahead and install all the files that it requires. Now after this process is complete, the system will automatically reboot, and we will quickly remove the USB stick and it will load into the Windows installer. Now guys, as you can see, the installation is almost complete and it will reboot the system automatically. Now it's finishing up the system for Windows, and now it is saying that it will restart, so I will click restart now, and I will quickly remove the USB stick for Windows which is put onto the laptop. And see, I removed the USB stick, and now it will boot into the Windows installer. Now as you can see, it is doing all that it requires to put on the Windows on this system. Now here we are at the screen, so we will select a theme, this, and then next, and now it will use, I will actually use custom settings, and I will select do not set up and click next, next, and I will click on finish, and now it will set up the Windows. Now we have reached the main desktop of Windows, and then I will set the proper resolution for this. And now I will plug in the USB stick which contains all the necessary software, that is the drivers and wireless drivers, graphics and wireless. Now here it is. Now the driver link is given in the description, and I will go ahead and install it. This is the wireless driver which I am installing. Now the wireless driver is successfully installed, and now I'll go ahead and install graphics driver. Now as you can see, the wireless is functional. Now the graphic driver is successfully installed. Now click on no, I will reboot this computer later. Finish, and here we have the Microsoft Toolkit. I will select Windows. Then we have to go ahead and click on product keys. Select Windows 8.1. Then click on Professional. Then click on Install. It has installed the key. Then we click on Activate, and then click on Activate. and then install the auto KMS. It's installing the software, and then we'll click on EZ activator. Finally it will activate our windows. Yes, it has successfully activated the windows. After we restart, you will not see this written on the right corner of your screen, useless thing. And then now you need to shut down the system, and then put your USB having the Macintosh disk back onto the system, and then boot it through that USB. Now guys, I have put on the Macintosh USB, and now I will boot it through that USB and get into the boot menu. Here we are, and I will select Macintosh drive and click on enter, and it will boot into the Mac. Now I will enter the password. And here we are back into our Mac installation. And now I will plug in my USB, which contains the Multibeast software, and then run it. Actually, I already have it here, Multibeast, and I will run it. Now the important step is that I will install EasyBeast as the quick start. That will enable us to dual boot. And yes, if your audio is buzzing a little bit, you can click on Voodoo HDA, and then input gain you can put it to 0. That will make the buzzing go and your system will be smooth. Then click on EasyBeast. It will install all the bootloader. Make sure that the bootloader is selected, Chimera V version 4.0.1, and then click on install and agree, and then password, and it will install all the system. I will just transition that for you. Now guys, as you can see, it has successfully installed all the things. I will go ahead and close it, and then to make sure that everything is proper and we are able to dual boot it, Windows and Mac, I will shut down the system. Shut down. And yes, it has powered up, and I will go ahead and remove the USB. Now there is no USB plugged onto the system. It will boot it from the hard disk. And now as I boot, it will pop up the Chameleon boot wizard, and I will go ahead and click on any of the keys, press any key, and now you should congratulate yourself as you have successfully installed Macintosh and Windows on your PC. So that was it guys. If you have any doubts, you can comment or you can contact me through email address which I will provide, and I will provide all of the links in the description. If you want any help, you can just go ahead and comment. Thank you guys.